When you hear the word prison, what comes to mind? High security walls, iron bars, strict routines, and an environment designed to isolate inmates from society. But what if a prison was designed not just to punish but to keep families together? What if prison cells were designed to resemble small apartments where children could live with their parents? Welcome to Aranjuez Prison in Spain, a correctional facility that defies traditional notions of incarceration. This prison is one of a kind, offering a unique model where convicted parents can live with their young children inside the facility. But why does this prison allow such a system? What are its goals, benefits, and criticisms? Today, we take an in-depth look at what makes Aranjuez Prison one of the most fascinating correctional institutions in the world. Why was Aranjuez Prison created? The Spanish government introduced family integration programs in prisons in 1998 with a clear and progressive objective: to minimize the negative impact of parental incarceration on children and to help inmates successfully reintegrate into society after serving their sentences. This initiative stemmed from growing concerns about the long-term psychological and social effects of separating children from their incarcerated parents. Extensive research has demonstrated that children with imprisoned parents face significantly higher risks of emotional distress, developmental issues, and even long-term behavioral problems. The absence of a parental figure, particularly during the crucial early years of childhood, can result in severe attachment disorders, anxiety, depression, and difficulties in forming healthy relationships later in life. In many cases, children who grow up without an active parental role model are more likely to struggle academically, face social isolation, and engage in delinquent behavior or even criminal activity in adulthood. At the same time, studies indicate that inmates who are able to maintain strong family ties while serving time have a significantly lower risk of reoffending upon their release. The emotional support provided by close family members, especially their children, gives prisoners a sense of responsibility, motivation for change, and a reason to avoid returning to crime. Without these connections, many ex-convicts feel abandoned by society and fall back into criminal patterns, leading to higher recidivism rates and further strain on the prison system. Recognizing these challenges, Spain chose to break away from traditional punitive prison models and implement an approach that goes beyond punishment. A family-friendly prison. 5-star cells. Aranjuez Prison is often described as having 5-star cells, but what does that mean? Unlike standard prison cells, which are small, cold, and designed for isolation, family cells at Aranjuez are built to accommodate both parents and children in a homely environment. Each of these cells includes 1. Double beds for parents. 2. Cribs for infants and toddlers. 3. Colorful walls decorated with Disney characters. 4. Toys and play areas for children. 5. Small kitchen spaces to prepare basic meals. While still within the walls of a correctional facility, these cells provide an environment that feels less like a prison and more like a small home. How long can children stay? One of the most important rules of the program is that children can only live in the prison until they turn 3 years old. This policy exists because by the age of 3, children begin forming strong memories and social awareness. Authorities believe that keeping them in a prison environment beyond this point could negatively affect their understanding of the world. After their 3rd birthday, the children must leave the facility and live with relatives or guardians outside the prison. However, parents who remain incarcerated are given the opportunity for extended visitation and family counseling sessions to maintain bonds. Daily life inside Aranjuez Prison. So, what is life really like inside Aranjuez Prison for parents and their children? Unlike traditional prisons that enforce a rigid daily schedule focused on discipline and punishment, Aranjuez follows a structured yet family-oriented routine. A typical day for inmate parents. Morning. Inmates wake up early to prepare breakfast for their children. Afterward, they engage in mandatory rehabilitation programs such as therapy, counseling, and vocational training. Afternoon. Children are taken to play areas and daycare centers within the facility. These areas are designed to be safe, educational, and social, allowing children to interact with one another in a more normal setting. Evening. Parents help their children with basic learning activities, storytelling, and preparing for bedtime. These routines help maintain the sense of normal family life despite the prison setting. To ensure that children receive proper care, education, and medical attention, the facility has 1. Trained child care professionals and educators. 2. On-site pediatricians and healthcare staff. 3. A structured curriculum to prepare children for life outside the prison. The goal is to make sure that children do not suffer from neglect just because their parents are incarcerated. Does this system actually work? The concept of a family-friendly prison has sparked intense debate. Some experts argue that allowing children to live inside a prison is unethical, while others believe that it is a more compassionate and effective way to rehabilitate inmates. Benefits of Aranjuez Prison. Stronger family bonds. One of the main arguments in favor of this system is that keeping families together improves emotional well-being. Instead of children growing up without a parent, they get to maintain a close relationship despite the circumstances. Lower recidivism rates. Studies suggest that prisoners who maintain family relationships are less likely to reoffend once they are released. Knowing they have a family to return to encourages inmates to change their behavior. Better mental health for inmates. Being in prison can take a severe toll on a person's mental state. Having their children with them can provide emotional motivation and a sense of purpose. Is a prison a safe place for a child? Critics argue that no matter how family-friendly a prison may be, it is still a prison. Some worry that growing up in such an environment could cause psychological confusion for the child. Unfair treatment? Some believe that this system gives an unfair advantage to prisoners who have children, while inmates without families do not receive the same privileges. Does it normalize crime? A key concern is whether raising children inside a prison could lead them to associate incarceration with normal life, making them more likely to engage in criminal behavior in the future. Despite these concerns, Spain continues to support the family integration model, believing that the long-term benefits outweigh the risks. Other prisons with family-oriented programs. Aranjuez Prison is the most famous family-friendly correctional facility, but other countries have also experimented with similar models. Bastøy Prison, Norway. This prison focuses on rehabilitation through outdoor activities, farming, and community building, treating prisoners as members of society rather than just criminals. Ezeiza Women's Prison, Argentina. This facility allows mothers to live with their children inside the prison, offering early childhood education and medical care. Neustrelitz Prison, Germany. Inmates can live with their families for short-term stays to maintain strong connections with their loved ones. These models suggest that a more humane approach to incarceration may lead to better rehabilitation outcomes. Aranjuez Prison presents a fascinating and controversial take on the justice system. While many argue that prison is meant for punishment, others believe that rehabilitation and reintegration are more effective long-term solutions. The idea of a family-friendly prison is still debated worldwide. But one thing is clear: Aranjuez Prison challenges the way we think about crime, punishment, and second chances. What do you think? Should more prisons adopt this model, or is it too lenient? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening content.